Walk into a STEM classroom in our region, and you'll be struck by a few things: the technology, the style of learning, and the impressive students. The breadth and depth of technology is amazing, from 3D printers and sample manufacturing equipment to laser cutting machines and robots, and much, much more. Students in the Valley are learning science, technology, engineering, and math in ways that weren't possible a decade ago, and which will likely be obsolete in another few years. Jim Rawlings, Executive Director of the Western Virginia Science Museum, says if we haven't been before, we need to become lifelong learners.
The idea that you can somehow put away an education from your youth and then move on through your life without really any further bother with that, if that ever was true, it certainly is no longer true. People have to be ready to take on new forms of education.
The pace of change that Jim speaks about is borne out in classrooms all over our region. STEM education is problem-based learning. Students work to solve real problems. Academic tests no longer look for the right answer. They're more focused on a right answer. Teachers are looking for innovation, creativity, and perseverance. Accordingly, students must use science, technology, engineering, and math to solve these problems. But they also need to use the skills they learn in English class, says Ray Cotter, an instructor at William Fleming High School.
Okay. What I've really liked about this so far is we're able to do pretty much all of this through different project-based activities. So it's not, here's a book, memorize this stuff. It's utterly irrelevant. It's, here's a challenge. Oh, now what do you need to do to solve this? And all of a sudden the math and even the English and everything else starts to have a relevance because they have to communicate their design. They have to do the numbers so that it actually works and fits. And it's really neat to get them to see the application of everything else they're learning.
And while students still get individual grades in these classes, teamwork is the norm. Students are truly working together. One student's skill set complements another's, and the result is successful problem solving, says Greg Hirschman, an instructor at Patrick Henry High School.
One thing about my program is there's a lot of problem solving and trying to come up with design solutions, and we work in teams. So it's the idea is to get pairs, groups of 3, 4, sometimes bigger, working in a team. And so the great thing about Patrick Henry is the diversity, and you kind of got all these people coming from vast different backgrounds coming together and trying to work together to solve a problem.
With all this excitement at the high school level, we don't want to forget that STEM can start much earlier. The Western Virginia Science Museum is helping younger children discover their inner scientist. Though the museum certainly focuses on educating young minds, according to Jim Rawlings, they want to be in the inspiration business even more.
If we can inspire a young learner, then we don't have to worry about will they get educated anymore. Their inspiration will carry them. They will want to learn. So that curiosity, that little fire that we can build that takes a person forward, they propel themselves. So we see ourselves as the source of inspiration for generations of young people.
But it was the students we talked with who were perhaps the most inspiring. Maybe they spent some time at the Science Museum when they were younger. They are all STEM graduates, and if you let them have their way, they'll change the world. Take Maya Shende, a 2011 graduate of the Burton Center in Roanoke County. She's a sophomore computer science and physics major at Roanoke College now and is on her way to graduate school, maybe medical school, when she graduates. Here she is talking about the first STEM-related project she ever participated in.
I think the one that I'm always going to remember was freshman year. We made a hemodialysis system, and we got to actually go outside and test it out using fake blood, and that was a lot of fun. There was one group that exploded completely all over everybody, but it was a lot of fun, and we learned a lot. And that's kind of where I sort of started thinking about what I wanted to do later in life too. So.
And yet Maya's path to success, through college and probably graduate school, isn't the only path. Tyler Parrish graduated from Burton last year and moved right into the workforce, working in the IT department at Carillion Clinic.
Well, I definitely wanted to get started as quickly as I could and start making some money to put forward towards college. So that was my first step there. And thanks to my STEM education, I was able to get a A+ certification, which helped me land the job that I'm currently working now. So.
After many months researching STEM, the education team was impressed with many things, but most impressive were the students. So we asked everyone we talked to, why is STEM so important?
It's definitely just the experience. It gets you out there. You get to meet new people. You get to do new things, and it's very it's practical. You learn things that you'll see and do in everyday life.
Coming here completely changed the way I think about everyday problems. Even if I didn't go into engineering or the sciences, it just changes the way you think about things, the way you approach problems in life, and I think that's a very valuable thing to have.
I think it's because it's the future of education. I think this is where it needs to go. We're finding, that the classroom 30 kids sitting at a desk and looking at a board is not working as well, and is not preparing them for the technical jobs that are out there. So I think this is the future.
We feel the same way. These students and their teachers, this type of education is our future. So step into a STEM classroom or wander through the Science Museum. Be impressed, and most importantly, be inspired.